Hello, it's me, Dr. Campbell Price, Curator of Egypt and Sudan, here at Manchester Museum, speaking to you from the museum store. I've been very lucky today because I've got to come in and I wanted to share with you a little Christmas story. Because when I was asked to do something for Advent, well, I thought about lots of things, but because ancient Egypt is some distance from us in time, it doesn't have much to do with the Christmas story. Of course, Egypt is known to Christians as a place where Mary, Joseph and their wee baby Jesus did travel through. But for most of Pharaonic times, in fact all of Pharaonic times, the ancient Egyptians of course did not know about the existence of Jesus, whose birth we celebrate with Christmas. But what they did know about their gods can be illustrated with this wonderful statuette from the site of Giza, site of the Great Pyramids. This was found by a team of Egyptian workers excavating under the direction of the British Egyptologist William Matthew Flinders Petrie. It's incredibly detailed. I can't quite show you here, but the back reverse shows this very rich gilding. It's a wooden statuette covered with a thin layer of gesso or plaster and then with gold leaf applied. It was quite badly damaged when it was found, and this is a typical sign of Petrie that he applied quite a thick layer of paraffin wax to hold the fragile surface of the decoration in place. But the reason I'm showing you this is because it illustrates an Egyptian concept about gold. And gold could be sourced in ancient times from the eastern desert of Egypt itself, but also to the lands south of Egypt, what was known as Nubia, or literally gold land. And the ancient Egyptians believed, as far as we can tell, if we believe their rather partial, rather biased elite texts, they believed that the gods of Egypt, the divinities, gods and goddesses whom they worshipped, they believed that those deities had flesh made of gold. So where it was possible, they would create images like this, and they would cover them in very expensive, very valuable gold leaf. Now that's not just to show off. That is because the material, the actual metal, precious metal, gold, was believed to have this intrinsically divine quality. It affected divinity. It didn't merely symbolize divinity, it affected divinity. So if you applied gold leaf to an object, like a decorative uraeus, probably from a Roman period catafalque, or a coffin cover, if you applied that gold, you brought divinity to the object. And one of the great qualities of gods is endurance and permanence and immortality. So it's something you want to associate with the dead. But here, this is an image of one particular ancient Egyptian god. He's not named, but I can tell who it is because of the break. The form of the statue must once have had a tall crown, not a wig or a headdress that came over the shoulders, because the head is broken completely off. This must have been an image originally of the god Osiris. Now Osiris is the god of regeneration, rebirth par excellence, very appropriate for this time of year as we look ahead to a new year. 2021 can only be better than this one just gone. But what people don't realise, although this piece was found at the Giza necropolis, very well known for its association with the Great Pyramids of the Old Kingdom of Dynasty 4, this sculpture comes much later. It's probably late period, maybe 26th dynasty, a time in which the Egyptians would have looked on the pyramids already as ancient monuments. By Dynasty 26, the pyramids were already over 2,000 years old. So they represented a long lineage of Egypt's great building history. And they were associated with gods. And the cult of Osiris, his wife Isis, particularly seems to have taken off at Giza in the last few centuries BCE. So what we see here is perhaps not a cult statue, not the focal point of cult, but just a very richly decorated votive statue, which someone has donated to a chapel or a temple honouring Osiris in the hope that the god will favour them with good fortune, or perhaps in thanks at a favour already granted. So a very striking piece, beautifully worked in gold, and this would be my Christmas choice for Advent this year, 2020, and wishing you a very happy Christmas or whatever other celebration you're celebrating, and looking forward to a better 2021. See you for more Periscopes then.